All right, we are rolling through the off season, second episode into the off season, and there is a lull because we're just watching the playoffs, and we are enjoying that. And as the upsets are happening, and players are going off, and some players are going quiet, and some shocking things are happening around the league, we will talk to you about that. But you'll know before we do because you'll see the timestamp. But this may be a shorter episode. But the meat of the episode at the end, this will be a review of our preseason predictions of their over-unders for players and the team. So we will get into that after we go through some headlines about the Connecticut Sun, about the WNBA, about some firings, and some who we think could replace and what we would do with our situation, whether we think we're in a good situation or not. But before we get into all that, Joe, how have you been? It feels like it's been a long off week since it's been no games or nothing. I didn't have any notes to prepare for this week, just pulling up articles and stuff. And it feels like a longer week since we've talked about this. Since we've done this, we talk all the time, but.
Yeah, no. Hey, everybody. Happy fall. We're officially in the fall season. Summer's over, so my favorite time of the year. So I very much enjoy it. Yeah, it was kind of weird this week. I feel like, we spent a couple hours each prepping stuff, watching games, trying to find articles, this, that, and the other. And definitely was, like you said, a bit of a lull. I don't know. The weather's kind of reflecting that too, where it's kind of just like humid, gray. So kind of a sleepy week over here. But yeah, no, I've been enjoying the playoffs too. I haven't really sat down and watched too many of the games from start to end, but just periodically checking in on scores. And, at one point someone will be up 17 and then all of a sudden the game's going to overtime or a huge upset or something. Like, I'm like, what is this, the NBA I'm watching? Because that's how it always was in the NBA playoffs, right? Like no lead was ever safe. So
yeah. Except in the NBA, it happens like 18 times throughout a game. In the W, it just happens once.
Yeah, it's just like an avalanche. Even looking at the game last night between Phoenix and Minnesota, I turned it off because it was a 14, 15-point game. And then I looked 20 minutes later just to see, some stats in the finals and all the numbers I like to track. And I'm like, oh, this game's in overtime right now. And I threw it on to watch the end of it. So I couldn't believe that one. But yeah, no, playoffs are always fun no matter what the sport is. I can pretty much get into it because just the intensity the players are playing with on the court, fan base is going crazy. And, you can just tell everyone wants it a little bit more. So even though it's not our team in there, playoffs are playoffs.
Yeah, I've been locked in. I was locked into the first round. I haven't been able to watch much of the second round yet, but we have a sick 1-1 tie in both series, so it's pretty cool. Not excited about the Fever being there, but it's pretty cool that you get a 6 seed upsetting a 3 seed and tied with a 2 seed.
I see. You just wanted to remind everybody that because our listeners know that I had Atlanta in the WNBA finals. So
I honestly forgot. Thanks you for reminding me and reminding that. But I'm more upset that the Fever made it. I'd rather you be correct. But at least the Fever are doing it on the back of Mitchell and Boston and Howard. Which again, at least, not again, but at least I will have to go back on my words and say, well, not back on my words, but at least Stephanie White is now proving to me that she's a much better coach than I thought before. If she definitely if she wins this series, but this is the best coaching I think she's done in her career. Yeah, Odyssey Sims played really well for them throughout the season when they picked her up. But this Phoenix Lynx series can go either way. I do think the Aces pull it out still. But, man, if the Mercury take it, man, they can go all the way. That's crazy. I do think the Lynx will finish it off at home.
Well, we talk about star players and positions of success. Each team has a guard who's very good. Whether you want to call Sabally a guard, we'll go Copper. But you got Copper, you've got Courtney Williams, you've got Jackie Young, and you've got Kelsey Mitchell. And then it's a power forward league, right? Aaliyah Boston. I'm counting Natasha Howard as a center here, but Boston, Thomas, Asia Wilson, and Fee. So it's like the positions of success, like in the league, you need are showing, right in the forefront of this of these matchups in the second round so far.
Yeah, and we asked the faithful. Ah, fuck, it went away. I gotta find it on my archives. Give me a sec. I forgot this was yesterday. Who do you who's impressing you the most so far? While I find this,
Who's impressing me the most? I
All
mean,
right,
I gotta say it's Phoenix because they have the two All Stars in Savali and Thomas, but like, what's her name? Whitcomb. She's been great. I mean, I watched
she hits like
highlights.
2 threes a game.
Yeah, hitting three. She hit a one-legged fadeaway on the side. She just runs that inverted pick and roll with Alyssa Thomas so well, and it's so hard to guard because like Whitcomb, excuse me, comes off those screens, and she's like ready to fire right away. So like if you think, oh, I'm gonna slip it or double it, whatever, I gotta stay with AT and just go under, like she's firing away. So that's a really cool like play design that they have, taking advantage of secondary ball handlers, and then. I mean, AT is AT, right? She's finishing top 3, top 4 in the MVP for the last 4 years. She's just consistently one of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm buying the stock right now on the Phoenix. I mean, I'm still rooting for the Lynx because I do think they're still the most complete team. I didn't think anyone was sweeping anybody this round anyway, but yeah, I mean that series is going to go 5, and it's going to be great.
Hope so. But I put up a poll, and we who our followers think is going to win the finals. Still at this point, this was going into this round. 72% of about 40 votes said the Lynx. 31 votes. 7 votes said the Mercury. So a lot of people think that might be the championship. 3 votes for the Fever and 2 votes for the Aces, shockingly enough. So more people are riding with the Fever than the Aces. I'm still riding with the Aces. I still think if they make the finals, they're going to win it.
I mean, we can see it. Obviously, they've got the star power, they've got the MVP, but I mean, Kelsey Mitchell is playing on another level too. So she's actually unguardable from what I've seen. Like if she's off,
their team is still good enough to not have bad games in the playoffs, but they're not helping. I mean, Asia didn't help the game they lost enough,
right?
But yeah, nobody stepped up. Like Asia can't do that, but like you need somebody to be able to step up if your star's going down. It's, like it doesn't have to be a second star. Playoffs have random ass guys and girls go off. Yeah. Who was the guy on the Pacers this year? Was it
Aaron
Nesmith? Yeah, that fucking idiot.
Well, Nemar did it one game as well. So yeah, they just had different guys, different nights.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, who you rolling with? The Lynx still?
Still the Lynx. I would probably rank the final 4 teams right now: Lynx, Mercury, Vegas, Fever.
Yeah, that's probably what the power rankings would be. I would assume. Yeah, but I just got a feeling with the Aces that they could do it. I don't know. I really think I don't want them to. Like I'd rather see the Lynx or the Mercury win. Get Fee a title, get Alyssa Thomas a title. But I don't know. I just like she's dominating right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't expect them to lose a game to Indiana or Seattle, honestly. But not like I expected them to. I expected them to lose a game to Atlanta at some point and end the streak.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, maybe it's a good thing that because they're not going to sweep the finals. So
no, neither team would.
Get some losses out of the way now, and don't go embarrass yourself in finals. But yeah, just beat Indiana, please. Don't get them to the finals. Nobody wants that. I was looking. What was which series was it? The Lynx and Phoenix went to overtime game 1
No, game 2. This
or game
past.
2?
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Yeah. Yeah, 89-83, and then they just and it's crazy how so many games go to overtime in playoffs, and then it's like one team just wins the overtime by like 5 or 6 or 7.
Yeah, it's momentum
And
plays.
it's not fouling. It's just like it's like the overtime's like 7-0.
Right. It's just momentum. It's very hard when you are winning, especially the team that was winning in regulation, and then something happens right at the buzzard or a couple seconds before or whatever. Like, it's very hard to like reset your brain. Like, as a coach, you're like, hey, it's 0-0, go out there and just win these next couple minutes. But like, the weight of the world feels on your shoulders as a player when you just gave up a game tying shot or you had a bad turnover at the end to take it. Like, it's really hard to reset the mentality when all the momentum goes the other way.
Yeah, the Mercury won quarter 3, 22-14, 25, and then quarter 4, 25-17, and then overtime 10-4.
Yeah.
It's just they didn't have the momentum since halftime. At home too.
Yeah, there's been a lot of games. There's been a lot of losses this playoffs by the home team. So yeah, while it can be an advantage, I mean, sometimes it's just not.
All right, speaking of losses can lead to a lot of things. Firings and sometimes firings are worded in ways where coaches aren't led back. They don't come back. I don't know. Noelle Quinn was not let back. Her contract's not renewed, so she wasn't technically fired. But yeah, they're not bringing her back. Let's see. A quote: "On behalf of our organization, I'd like to thank Noelle Quinn for her time with the Storm," said general manager. "Her commitment to the ongoing success of our organization and furthering the development of the players was second to none. She put us in position to win at highest levels of the game, and we are grateful." At the beginning of the season, if you told me she had 1 year left, do you think she'd be back? I would say, yeah, based on what I thought the Storm were going to do. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to toot my own horn here, but I've kind of pegged this from the start myself. I remember I had Seattle being like a struggling team, probably barely making the playoffs or just missing it. And I really thought this was like an all or nothing season for them, which is why still like the draft pick of Malonga still like fully didn't make sense to me. I really thought they should have tried to trade that pick just based on the current regime. It just always seems like in the last couple of years that Seattle's kind of been in the news for locker room issues or just like team chemistry stuff that doesn't seem so like everything was peachy there. Don't know if a lot of that stems from the culture that the coach has built, and she was just kind of they were winning enough games or it wasn't an issue. But I felt like the way their roster was set up this year, they probably should have been a higher seed. I don't know if them not playing Malonga the first half of the season, so it feels like had anything to do with that. And then the coaching decision. Ezzy wasn't too great for them this year. Gabby Williams hit a wall. Like their roster was just kind of weird. Like even what's her name, Lexi Brown came out after the season was over, and one of her exit interviews, I got one of her sound bites where it was literally just like, "I didn't play. I'm healthy. I'm not coming back here. Like I can help somebody." And it was just like, so I don't know if there was just a lot of infighting, we'll call it. So when they didn't renew her contract or said they weren't going to, I kind of had a feeling about it just based on results. I'm kind of even guessing even if they won that first series and lost this series, it was a potential as well. Just kind of seemed like she, 4 or 5 seasons there and not too much success. But now that leaves a very interesting coaching vacancy over there.
Yeah. I mean, to go off your points, I don't think the Malonga pick has anything to do with this because the GM's staying. So that's her vision or their vision. Yeah, it's her vision. Um, and so like that's still the GM's pick. And
Yeah.
so
Maybe the GM wasn't happy how she was being used, though, is what I'm getting at. Like,
yeah, but yeah, they like I'm just saying that's I don't think that they regret it or like they shouldn't have not picked her because of
no,
like
5 years from now
bad.
they'll be super happy
Yeah,
about it, but will this regime still be there? It's always comes down to that.
yeah, they're just gonna have to find a new coach that'll fit the team with Malunga, which should be fine.
And
And
there's
Malunga,
also
I don't know how she was in the beginning of the season either, if she was ready. But she turned into a very, very good player at the end.
and they also have the number 2 pick, or sorry, they're slotted into the number 2 pick before the lottery, like the second best
yeah,
chances.
yeah, they got good
So
odds for.
they should get another very good player.
But yeah, yeah, there's definitely problems in Seattle, and that's been known for a year or two, at least. But they keep getting rid of the players, so I figured they wouldn't blame Noelle Quinn, and we don't know what the problem is there, but it's something rooted in there, and they don't seem to deal with it. So I am kind of shocked they are getting rid of her in that sense. They're kind of taking responsibility. So let's see if it actually fixes anything. Next, we have more shocking. We have the Liberty firing Sandy Brondello after a somewhat shocking exit from. It's a shocking first round exit, but it's not shocking because they lost to the Mercury, and they were hurt all year and didn't really play together all year. But yeah, let's see if I can. I have the ESPN article up. See if there's any quote from Sandy herself. But what do you think on this, Joe?
Yeah, it really felt like this year was championship or bust, and they were even talking about it. I was reading something that this might have been in talks last year if they didn't win the championship. So, which is like a crazy thing to think about because you have the Liberty, who's like been synonymous with making the finals, like losing the finals, winning the finals, and then getting bounced this year. So, but they've been in every series. I think this year they really felt the expansion team loss. Kayla Thorin obviously was a big player for them last year. Um, and then who else did they lose? They lost someone else to free agency, and I'm blanking.
Lainey Hamilton got hurt all year. Was hurt all
Lainey
year.
Hamilton was out all year. Hold on, I'm gonna regret not remembering who the other big loss was. Liberty Championship. Lainey. No, it wasn't Kayla Thorin. I lied completely with that. Why did I think she was on this team?
I don't know.
Oh, well, I'm gonna redact what I just said. Who was it then? Jesus.
Oh, and technically, yeah, they. It says Sandy Bardell, Liberty coach Sandy Bardell fired in the headline, and then says won't be renewing her contract in the article. So I don't think she technically got fired. So terrible headline, ESPN.
Who was Kayla Thornton on the year before? That's gonna bother me right now.
Just fucking Google her.
I am.
It was probably Seattle. It was the Liberty.
Yeah, they were. She was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was like thinking to myself, I'm going crazy because everything I was looking up was she was on Dallas, which I was like, what's going on here? So yeah, losing Kayla Thornton was big as a role player. They still slid in players to try to like substitute, but we saw what she did this year for the Valkyrie. And then, like you said, Lainey Hamilton was out all year. So like they were missing pieces. Sably, I don't think did what they thought she would. The sister Sably. So yeah, I know they had championship or bust aspirations, but who else did they lose here? Oh, they
They
lost
lost Vandersloot.
Vandersloot. That was the other one who, obviously tore her ACL this season, but she was still a big loss from the guard position. So yeah, they had lost a couple of key role players. And then they had injuries all year. I mean, Stewie missed a large chunk of time. John Quell did. Even Sabrina did. Like they never had like continuity for the entire season. Even like the Emma Miesemann addition like looked great, but I mean she played fine for them. You know, she still wasn't like she didn't come back as like the full blown dominant player that like we talked about her potentially coming back to being. But yeah, I mean, it was championship or bust. They lost in the first round. Seems like this was in the workings for a little while. You don't know, again, what the players feel about coaches and everything. And again, 99% of the players are free agents last year. So maybe a lot of these teams are like, hey, let's have a soft reset here. And, you know, if our championship window is quote unquote closed, let's just tear the thing down and build it back up. Because, I mean, I've heard rumors of Stewie may not signing back next year with New York as well. So
I mean, her reaction to this, I mean, not a reaction to it, but they asked her what her thoughts on people saying that she shouldn't be brought back, and she said, "What the fuck?" Like, and they were like, the reporter was like, "I didn't say that." She's just like, "That's just what people are saying. What do you think about it?"
it's very funny when the reporters get really defensive. I think everyone has like such kick gloves around these players and personalities. But it always makes me like because the reporter was like you said was very like, oh no, I don't think that. I've heard other people say that as well.
Well, to be fair, she was just like, the headlines are saying he shouldn't be brought back. What do you think? And she's like, "What the fuck?" Like, she's just been like, "All right, that's your quote. What the fuck? Okay." Not like she didn't even. Yeah, you're right. She didn't have got defensive though. She didn't say "what the fuck" at her. She just said like, "What the fuck." I was googling to see what the headlines about the Connecticut Sun were. Before we get to anything about the relocation, three biggest WNBA names who definitely changing teams this offseason. 3 hours ago, whoever Chelsea Late is, spelled like Carla Late, on the Valkyrie. First name, Marina Mabry. In the middle of the 2024 WNBA season, Marina Mabry requested a trade out of the Chicago Sky. She was moved on to the Connecticut Sun, who were charged towards the playoffs and favored to make the WNBA finals. Marina ended up being a great piece to end the season, but were eliminated in the semifinals. This came as a mass exodus of the Sun roster, blah, blah, blah. Mabry, still on contract for the 25, requested a trade in the process, while the Sun agreed to trade players like Dejanay and Cloud. Believed simply giving up too much for Mabry mere months before the season around to trade her. They believed she would be a great veteran presence for the team they were building. She was and liked her. Sorry, she was, and her likely went better than expected. I don't know, it's just a terrible article. Still, she was likely taking meetings with other team when free agency comes around. Is still an excellent role player and built upon the light up from distance. While she has some belief to return to Connecticut, if a contending team wants to sign her, she will likely hear them out. Sounds like this article was written like right after the season started.
Yeah, there wasn't really a lot of new information there, obviously, because there hasn't really been any new information. I mean, that's a pretty generic statement to say she's going to listen to other offers. Like, yeah, why wouldn't she?
Yeah.
The whole league is going to be listening to offers.
Yeah, the next person is Enrique and Angel Reese.
I mean, Enrique makes sense just because of
Angel's definitely leaving, and yeah, Enrique had her worst season in a while, but I don't know. Still with Paige, so it could be a fun time.
So, before we get too far away from the topic, with Sandy Brondello's firing, do you, if you're one of the expansion teams, do you look to bring her in immediately?
Oh yeah, probably.
She's probably the top of the
big
list.
Name, right? Yeah. If you're the Connecticut Sun, do you fire Coach Mez and hire her immediately?
Probably not, just based on how the end of the season ended. But yeah, it's kind of when you have someone like that out there, it's.
Do you think she's that good?
I mean, 2 championships. She's won wherever she's gone. Like, it's kind of hard. Yeah. But I mean, I don't see us making any moves anyway. But if I'm one of these expansion teams, I'm, blocking her up as soon as I'm allowed to.
Yeah, it's yeah. I don't know who the Liberty think they're like, who they want to hire. I mean, and there's obviously a bunch of new people that no one's gonna know until they do it. assistant coaches, people that aren't in
I
the
gotta think they
people,
have someone in mind. They
people in
don't.
college, people in the NBA, people that aren't in the league,
You don't fire someone like Sandy without having
people
a
in
plan.
Europe. Yeah, of course. They probably have plans A, B, and C.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. She had to win with Diana Taurasi and Stewie. I don't know. Could she really come here and win with Layla Lacan and Marina Mabry? I don't know. All right, what's next? The Norwich Bulletin. Connecticut Sun's future location still up in the air. What's its value to the state? Um, uh, the news last month: the WNBA team has owned the Mohegan Tribe since 2003. Might be sold to Boston minority owner. The concern turned into outrage. Proposed Boston sale, separate counter offer, which could keep the team in state but move to Hartford. Which was ignored by the WNBA, considered sending the team elsewhere. The U.S. Senate and former state attorney General Richard Blumenthal went so far as to raise concerns. The state officials swiftly launched a campaign calling for the Sun to stay in Connecticut and urging residents to sign a petition to help make the case to the league. Connecticut officials are considering a plan that would see the state use petition to fund purchase of minority stake in the Sun in order to keep the team, while the proposal has received support from Ned Lamont, our governor. The possible use of pension funds has drawn criticism from both legislative Republicans and unions. Both argue there are better uses for the money. There are needs for structure and fiscal responsibilities at the level of respect for taxpayer money and for public employees' money. State Minority Leader Stephen Harding, our Republican from Brookfield, said at a press conference last week. What are your thoughts?
Much ado about nothing.
What do you think? What do you think? There's more important things to put our money in, or should we go all in and spend our money on?
Well, in Connecticut,
WNBA teams?
we know that they just like to work on the highways every other day, new projects every day starting, and sometimes they don't seem necessary, like changing all the exit numbers on the Merritt Parkway. But
Yeah.
I digress. I mean, I don't know. There's got to be a simpler way of keeping the team in Connecticut than getting politicians involved and state officials. Like, I don't know. I mean, if the WNBA really wants the team in Boston, it's going to happen. If they aren't going to grant them an expansion team until 5 years from now, like, they're not going to do it right now. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be a way to keep them in Connecticut. I do believe so. I just don't see them moving to Houston. I don't see them getting relocated to Boston right now. Like, why not have a team in Connecticut and in Boston? And just like every other sport, you have New York, Boston, Connecticut, and I don't know if you're going to have a Philadelphia team at some point. Like,
there is 2026.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if there's going to be a Philadelphia team, like, you're going to have your own division, be able to do your own division just like that. Like, I don't know.
They see Connecticut and Boston as redundant.
Well, it is because the Connecticut Sun are technically in the Boston TV market. That's the issue.
I mean, you have literally teams that play in the same city, and they just happen to be huge cities, but still the same TV market.
Right. No, it's true.
And I mean, I still live in the New York market. We don't even get Connecticut games.
No, we don't. It's got to be on good old Ion. But yeah, the NBC Boston, we don't even get that down here. And we're only an hour away.
The whole state is an hour away.
It's true. We're pretty much in the middle point.
The Sparks continue to be a better franchise than us. They are planning to build a $150 million practice facility in El Segundo. So they are finding it where they're in a massive city, and we are in Connecticut and can't fucking get one.
Is that being funded by the new owners of the Lakers?
The Los Angeles Sparks have announced plans to build 150 million, 550,000 square foot practice facility that is scheduled to open in 2027 in El Segundo, California. It represents the largest investment to date for a single team in the history of women's sports, according to the Sparks. We're building a place where Sparks players can be at their best. And on and off the court, Sparks governor Eric Hallman said they have their own governor. It's a weird title. From cutting edge training and recovery spaces to family and community areas, every corner of this facility was designed with them at the center, the players at the center. It reflects our community to our team and our fans in the city of Los Angeles, and sets the standard to what professional sports and organization provides for its athletes. The picture of what it's supposed to look like looks sick.
I mean, it's what the WNBA wants. It wants people investing in their teams, and that's why they want all the teams in the big cities or having some affiliation with the NBA teams, because they know they can get the things needed.
Vegas, Phoenix, and Seattle are among teams that have already built training centers. Fever, Sky, Liberty, and Wings have announced planned structures moving forward. Crazy. All right. You got anything else you want to talk about before we roll into embarrassing ourselves?
No, I think that's what the people want. Let's hear how bad we were this year predicting this team.
All right. It's only going to get better next year, hopefully. But all right. It started with wins. The total was 12.5. That's what we set it at. It looked like it was impossible. And then it looked like it was going to happen. And then it didn't happen. It was, we ended at 11. Joe, you originally said 15.
15.
I said 13. When we did the quarter of the season, we both predicted under. But we're just going to go over the original ones. So, yeah, we both got that wrong. All-Stars, we predicted we had 1.5. I said over Mabry and Charles. You said under. We would just have Mabry. Or you just said 1. I don't think you specified. You got that right. We had 0. All right, well, you got under right.
It would have been. I think Mabry would have made the All-Star team if she didn't get hurt.
Well, it's.
I think it would have been. I think she could have ended up being one of like the substitutes or something.
She could have.
Just to have a representation of every team, but yeah, we had 2 wins.
I mean, they didn't even give it to fucking Tina, who had a good year, and
right,
it was her legacy year, or thought to be for a second. Marina Mabry, points per game, we had set at 16.5. I went under. You went over slightly. I said won't be all in her. As we think, only 16 players scored this last year. Okay. So under 16.5, and you said slightly over, and she ended with
14.
14 something, but I hate how it's written here. The stat page and not her individual page. She ended with 14.4. So I will take that.
I mean, she definitely didn't shoot as well, which I know is the next one, but she definitely didn't shoot like we thought she was going to shoot this year from the 3-point line.
Yeah. Next, speaking of that, is 3-point percentage at 38.5%. We both did say under, although I said just under. You said under. She did shoot 27% even, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like really bad.
27%. Next is games played as a Sun. You were very, very convinced she was going to get traded. So you said under,
I
traded to the
was.
Lynx if you had to pick. But you were wrong. I said over, staying all year. She is, or she did. And I think she's going to continue to stay here. Next, we had Tina Charles at points per game, 15 and a half. We almost nailed this. What did she have? 16 and a half. She had 16.3 for a career high. We said under slightly, both of us, and we got it just wrong.
That's not a career high.
Or not a career high since 2021. That's what
Okay.
it's like 2021, I think.
Yeah.
Whatever I said on last episode when we were reviewing her.
Mm-hmm.
No, she scored like over 20 points per game before and had ridiculous numbers.
Yeah.
But yeah, and she had career lows in rebounding, as we will get to. 9.5 we set the bar at, which is low, which would have been low for her, and she got rebounds are all the way over here. She got 5.8, the lowest in her career. We both said under. I specifically noted because of Anissa Morrow, but I don't think that had anything to do with it.
It just felt under.
Yeah, she didn't get anywhere near the hoop on offense or defense, I don't think. Next was Livia Nelson-Adota. We set low standards. We didn't know what her role was. She ended up starting, and then when Morrow took over, she had to come off the bench. But we put 5.5 points per game, and we both said over, and she hit 8.2. So good for her. Good for us. Rebounds per game, we only set it at 3.5. She, I think, crushed that at 5. We both said over.
Yeah, no, she in the expanded role, she was a really nice role player all year as a secondary scorer, or post-up player. So, you'd like to see she played 20-something minutes a game. So even if she goes up to 25, 26 minutes a game next year, maybe those numbers jump even further.
Next we had Lindsay Allen, 5.5 points per game. We both said under. She only ended up with 2.4. Didn't really find a huge role outside of after the injury. We don't know what her role would have been before that. But she had 2.4 under the 5.5.
Yeah, we had a big scramble at point guard. I remember that being the big conversation of who's going to play. At that time, there was 5 point guards on the rosters before cuts, and we had to figure it out.
Next was a combination of JC Sheldon and Layla Lacan, which is hilarious because they could have easily gotten their own, but JC did end up leaving. A combined 10 points per game, and we both said under originally. I think Layla got it on her own. Yeah, she ended up with 10.4. JC finished with 7.5 for us. So yeah, they both went over. So we got that wrong. I'll be okay with that. I'm glad they did. And 5 assists per game for them. You said over between JC and Layla. I said under. You said over.
I'm seeing Layla, two exact for JC and 3.7 for Layla.
Layla at 3.7, so that's 5.7. So you just got that, the 0.7. Next was Yvonne Anderson, who didn't make the team. Points per game, it was 5. We both said under, and that happened.
She never even suited up. She didn't make the final roster cuts, right?
Yeah, no, she didn't make the original team, yeah. She had a guaranteed contract, though, so that's why we put her in. Anissa Morrow, points per game, 12.5. We both said under. I said around 9 and 10. She finished with 7.7. So a little less than that. But next year, I think this number is probably going to stay around the same, and it's going to be hard because I think she's going to get a lot more opportunities. And she's going to have a good year. Rebounds, though, we said 8. I said over. As the season goes on, I think she can to be a 10 rebound per game getter. She was. You said over at 8.2 specifically. I don't even remember. I don't know why I remember, but she finished at rebounds with 8 point. No, I'm just kidding. 6.9 rebounds. Just a few under. But again, if she had more opportunities and got more time in some games, I don't know. Who knows? Her usage was definitely spotty and weird at sometimes, but
inconsistent for a rookie, but still had a good year overall.
Oh yeah, and had some big moments. So for Anissa Morrow, we did field goal / 3-point / free throw percentage at 45%, 23%, 70%. We said over for all three of them. Joe, if you want to read what they were to me, do you have that? Can you read that quickly?
I do not have that. Let me.
All right, hold on. I can get it.
I have a total stats page up. Let me see if I can get it.
I got it. Field goal is 37.5. So that was under. 3-point was 24. Oh, just over the 23. And then free throw 75.8. So she was over that 70. Still can improve though. So just under in field goal and over for the rest. Okay.
Man, like I said last episode, like her numbers should jump next year. I think, like I said,
Yeah.
not that I don't think she's a talented basketball player. I just think her skill set can improve so much, and that's such a compliment to like what kind of a like rough player she is and aggressive. But like, I mean, you can easily see next year her shooting in the 40s, shooting 30% from three and 80% from the free throw line.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so excited.
Speaking of who we're excited for, we got Sanaya Rivers. Points per game, we only gave her 5 points. I gave her under 2. I said, don't think she's going to get look to score that much. And she really found her shot and her confidence, and she did look to score, which I'm very pleased with. You said over, she would score 6 to 7 a game, and she locked in for 8.5 a game. So even with your correct opinion or your correct prediction, Joe, you were incorrect. But I'm still giving you the point.
We didn't see her offensive game coming along as well as it did towards the end of the year. We were like, oh, it's going to be best athlete, get a couple layups, maybe hit the occasional 3, but then she became an option.
Oh yeah. Field goal percentage at 40%. We both said over, even though she's not the strongest shooter, but 40 is definitely attainable. And she shot at 40.7%. Wow, just got it. I thought it was going to be well over 40. I thought it was going to be like 43, 44, 45.
Well, and that goes to a lot of the end of the year. It was like volume. So it would be like 5 of 11 or 5 of 16, so it probably lowered towards the end of the season.
Steals, 35.5. I have to go not to per game. Totals. Let it load. Why is it loading? Okay. Steals most on the team with 62. Absolutely crushed it. Said over. Okay, that's going to be a much higher over under next year. And then blocks, we have 22.5. We're going to have to set this for Liv next year too because she got 43. 22.5. She crushed it with 38. And we both said under.
From the guard position, we had genuinely had no idea about Sanaya. Like we're clearly some of the heads of the Sanaya Rivers fan club as like joining on as the season went on, but like she's so good on defense.
Yeah, I'm gonna see where they were in the not per game, but like in total where they were for blocks.
62 or 38.
I know for the W though.
Oh, like where's like who had the most?
Yeah, just like
well, I mean, you got to think Alyssa Smith.
Where they were.
All right, Alana Smith. I always do that. Asia.
It was 96 by Ezzy.
Wow.
Asia with 92. Alana with 80. And then it drastically drops to Natasha Mack with 52. So Sanaya was 14th overall. If I didn't say that, I probably said it last episode, but I forgot.
At almost a block a game.
Yeah, steals, she was
Top
fourth.
5.
Top fourth, yeah. Tied for fourth. Layla got to 10th.
Yeah, and
Barely played. Oh shit! I just closed that out by accident. All right, you still have yours open?
Yes.
Look at Rhea Marshall. What was hers? It wasn't over 3.5 points and rebounds, was it?
So she averaged 1.7 points and 1.7 rebounds.
Yeah, I assumed she was going to get way more garbage time. I had her over on both, and you put her under on both.
Yeah, I just didn't know. I thought she was such a project that she wasn't going to see the floor a lot.
I mean, there's just no reason to play like Haley Peters or
Diaby, 13 games.
Diaby, yeah. When we could have just played her and worked on her game. But yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2.
I'm assuming you're tallying up how many we got right.
Yeah.
Fun with numbers.
You got, I don't know how many there were total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I got 13 of 24. You got 16 of 24.
Sounds like I win again.
Yes, you do. Yeah, I'd say your best hit was I don't know. I'm trying to Sinai Rivers over points. I don't know. And then your worst was under for Mabry getting traded.
Yeah.
Fucking Ram Marshall. If I just did her under, I would have only lost by 1. All right, you got anything else you want for this episode?
Did anyone reach out with the Instagram poll we posted earlier today?
Not with anything we haven't talked about.
No.
Nothing new, no. Just about coaching and the coaching changes, playoffs, relocation, stuff like that.
Okay. No, I mean, yeah, playoffs are still going on. Again, like you said before, it's kind of like, or maybe we said it off camera. It's kind of hard right now because we normally be doing off-season wish lists and roster moves and potential signings and all that. But the CBA is, I think, another month away from the deadline. We said October 31st, so it's like, bear with us. We'll probably do some fun games and some more fun-based content for the next month or so as we wait to see, 1, if there's going to be a lockout, and 2, what happens when that lockout comes around. I mean, I know college basketball is also right around the corner as well, starting, so we can kind of maybe look at a couple things with those players as well. Maybe like the top 10, 15 potential first-round picks and do a little talk about them just as a preseason watch. But, content machine, podcast life, you always got to have something. So we'll definitely keep the people entertained.
Yeah. Like you said, yeah, the CBA is holding us from really knowing what we can talk about. It's if you want to talk about free agency, we don't know like who's going to be available. Like once the CBA comes, then we know who's going to start signing, and once people start signing, then we know what's realistic. We don't know who's going to be where or what.
It's kind of like playing video games and doing a fantasy.
People are free agents right now, so we can really say like, oh, I want Breanna Stewart to come to Connecticut, but like she's gonna get. We could talk about that all off season. Then she gets signed the first day back to New York, like, or goes to Seattle. Like it does. It's all for nothing. Like it's like we're not going to create our own rumors and just based off what we
No.
want. Like, so if we hear something and it's something real, like if we hear there's traction if somebody is coming to New York or they're going to target them in free agency, then we'll definitely talk about it. But we can't make like you said, a wish list or like a top 5 at each position. Just seems worthless because there's everyone right now is
literally, like I started to say, it's literally like a fantasy draft in one of our video games of whoever you want to pull from, like you can. So yeah, no, we'll see what transpires. But until then, I hope everyone enjoys the playoffs, enjoys the potential cooler weather over the next month. Alex, do you like to go apple picking?
No. I'm a
You're
single
not an
man.
apple picker guy.
I have nobody to take me apple picking.
You hear that? You heard that here, everybody. If you're still listening at this point, someone take out Alex apple picking.
Yeah, thanks. Randy's gonna take me now. See if Aaron Judge can hit another home run. He hit one earlier today.
Yep, that was number 50. So, but again, as always, thanks for listening, everybody. Like, comment, share. We're always looking to engage with everybody. So, don't be afraid to DM, no shade. And if you have something you want to hear on the podcast or just have a slight debate about something, go ahead and do so. We're pretty good at responding. You, and then I tell you to respond sometimes or post something.
Unless you're DMing Joe's personal account, go for
it. No, we gotta do more interactive stuff on the account, whether it's posts but that's behind the scenes footage. You guys aren't interested in all that. So thank you guys for listening. Alex, you want the final word here?
Banana nut muffins.